What's up, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing, it's not even been a day since I made that Josh Giddey video making around 21 and 23 million per season. We got a day later and it looks like teams have been reportedly interested in Josh Giddey with restricted free agency and more particularly in sign-in trades. Now there's one team specifically that has been mentioned, but apparently there are 4 or 5 teams that have been interested in this situation. So I find this interesting for a variety of reasons. Ultimately, it's more because of what other people have been saying than the actual situation itself. So with that being said, let's take a deeper dive into this situation. Let's talk about, obviously, Josh Giddey, restricted free agency, sign-in trades, all this stuff, all this nonsense that's been spewing around. Let's talk about it in this video. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Josh Giddey and restricted free agency. I'm once again trying a new microphone, so let me know if you guys like it. I did do these trial tests maybe, I don't know, last year, maybe 6 months ago, something along those lines, maybe February, I can't remember. But with obviously a better PC setup, things might be working a little bit better now. So I'm giving it a go. But anyway, with that being said, let's talk about Josh Giddey. So apparently there are at least 4 teams from the Eastern Conference that have, I guess, contacted Josh Giddey in relation to restricted free agency and potential sign and trade options. And there's one team out west that we've been talking about for a while when it comes to the loads of players that has, I guess, sparked interest in Josh Giddey in a sign and trade situation. That team has been named, and it is the Golden State Warriors. Shock horror, Golden State seems to be interested in all of our players, or at least rumored in all of our players. We've been rumored with Jonathan Kuminga, to be fair, but they've been rumored with Vucevic, Ayo Dosunmu, and now they're rumored with Josh Giddey. It's interesting. I guess we could talk about what Golden State would look like with Josh Giddey in the team. And to be honest, it's an interesting build-up, to say the least. So when you think of Golden State and their guard situation, they do have a lot of guards. Do they have a lot of quality guards is the real question. Outside of course, Stephen Curry, who's unbelievable, one of the best guards I've ever had the luxury to watch and see play. He's an amazing player. He's one of the most entertaining players of all time, and my goodness, he has changed the landscape of the NBA, and that is as simple as that. There's no discussions about Stephen Curry here, but with Josh Giddey coming into the lineup, they add another guard that they probably don't necessarily need, but they do add someone that could probably work very well with a Stephen Curry. Now, this isn't going to be the Splash Brothers 2.0 or anything like that, but it allows Stephen Curry to be more off the ball. And I do think at this time of his career, this is a better option for Stephen Curry than having all the pressure ball handling wise on your shoulders. Now, that's not to say you should get the ball out of Stephen Curry's hands 90% of the time, but if you have a point guard that, you know, did average close to a triple-double towards the end of the season for the Chicago Bulls, with a player that is so dangerous without the ball like Stephen Curry, it brings extra layers to their offense that they probably were missing since Klay Thompson is no longer there. I don't necessarily think they have, I guess, that off-the-ball mover the way that Klay was. And Steph can be that, but Steph has so many other priorities as well. Steph has all the pressure on him. His playmaking ability has to shine, really, for the Golden State Warriors to win games because they try to force him off the ball so often. So it's difficult to say that Josh Giddey wouldn't work with Steph Curry. I actually think they would work very well together. Not to mention you got the bigger guard to the smaller guard ratio. So, you know, Josh Giddey as a bigger guard can maybe guard bigger guards better. He's getting better at it. He played really decent defense for the Bulls last season. Also a guy that can rebound and push the tempo, can make Golden State play a little bit faster. So there's good attributes to Josh Giddey with the Golden State Warriors. The big question is, I don't think it fills their biggest need, which is probably the big man position. Unless you're going to chuck Josh Giddey in the center position, he is not a big man. And he's not going to be, I guess, an instant need filler. But it doesn't mean he won't help. All that being said, though, is this a realistic option? A sign and trade for Josh Giddey to the Golden State Warriors? I'm assuming we'd probably get a Kuminga back. Maybe that could be a like-for-like, restricted free agent, sign and trade, maybe straight swap. Probably, I'm assuming since we probably have the leverage in this sort of deal, we could get a pick in there maybe. I would like maybe. But anyway, All that being said, I don't think this is a realistic possibility, but I have heard recent rumors that there is a possibility, and maybe it's TikToks per se, actually, that maybe the Bulls don't actually want Josh Giddey, but they don't want to publicly say they don't want Josh Giddey. So that's what sparks interest to me, because if that is relatively true even, they could use this sign and trade as an excuse to get rid of Josh Giddey if that was what they really wanted to do. But me personally, I'm fully convinced the Chicago Bulls want Josh Giddey. I'm just convinced that they're going to be stingy about it. And that might not be the worst thing in the world. And that's why these conversations have taken as long as they have. It's because they're trying to save every last penny that they might have to use on other players in the future. And I have no issues with that whatsoever. So to sum it up, Golden State and Josh Giddey, I think, would be a great fit. Just as much as the Bulls with Josh Giddey is a great fit. The Bulls are definitely a team that likes to spread the floor, shoot threes, and play fast. I think all of that matches Josh Giddey to a T. So I do value Josh Giddey with the Warriors, but I think he would fit the Bulls as well. And the Bulls have the leverage. The Bulls have the power in this situation. And I do feel that the Bulls should be in the driver's seat to keep him around. I don't see a sign and trade happening with anybody from the Golden State Warriors. There's, again, the recent reports that Jonathan Kuminga is declining huge amounts of money because he wants to leave Golden State. It doesn't sound like they have much power in this situation whatsoever. It's either Kuminga gets his qualifying offer, which he might accept, play there for a year, then leave in unrestricted free agency, or he's done. And they're going to have to find a way to ship him off somewhere. So I just don't see any power with the Golden State Warriors. And if they're going to try and get Josh Giddey away from us, they're going to have to give us a whole bunch of talent, in my opinion, or a whole bunch of draft compensation in order to make this work. Because Josh Giddey wants to be in Chicago. As far as I'm aware, that's all the reports have suggested. Josh Giddey wants to be in Chicago. Jonathan Kuminga doesn't want to be in Golden State. So if that's what all they have to offer, I'm going to humbly decline and say we need more than that. And let's hope they give us more than that. But still, we're talking about it like it's going to happen. This is not going to happen, in my opinion. There's a very small chance that any team from East or West is going to get Josh Giddey out of our hands this free agency. Very small chance, because I'm remain firm in the fact, I'm fully confident in this. The Bulls want Josh Giddey here long term. And they don't make big trades often, ladies and gentlemen. When they say they want someone, I truly believe they want someone. We wanted Lonzo Ball before we signed him, and we got Lonzo Ball. We wanted to extend LaVine on a max contract. That was reported well before he got one. And Zach LaVine extended on a max contract. They say they want to keep Josh Giddey around. I have all intentions and rights to believe they want to keep Josh Giddey around. So it's nice that Golden State are interested, I guess. It does make it more interesting in terms of maybe the Bulls are going to have to raise their offer in order to be competitive in that sort of situation, even though Golden State don't exactly have a lot of money to throw around. But I still see this as the same issue. They're not going to have enough to sign Josh Giddey or to trade for Josh Giddey, and the Bulls have the power, and it's still probably offering the most money in this situation. So we're going to need a big deal from any team if we're going to figure out a sign and trade. And I just don't see that happening, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it. That's my video. What do you think? Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.